I am starting the recording. Haha, there we are. Hello, welcome. Um, just reading the No Mic Council question. Um, crafting tier question. Just harvest tier 2, 5 to 8 mean your level tier or your crafting tier? Neither, it means your harvest tier. It is described in the harvest rules what that means and how that's calculated. Bullet bones, material quality clarification. If the material itself says it is of a particular quality, so like bullet bones saying that they might be fine quality, um, it just is that quality when crafted. You don't have to pay any extra cost. You don't have to pay any extra time. It's just that, and upgrading it is appropriately cheaper. Yeah, so bullet bones they always be fine quality at least. If the item made from bullet bones is made predominantly of bullet bones, then it will be of fine quality at least for free. And upgrading it is likewise cheaper. Yeah, the material being of a certain quality doesn't really matter. Qualities don't do anything for materials. It's just yeah, nothing really happens.
You could make poor bullet bone items, but you would have to fail your crafting checks, and you wouldn't be able to do that through downtime days. Because downtime days you don't roll for anything. That would have to be done through actual physical rolling during sessions.
What they said in a weird technical way, you could technically get it to be poor quality, and only because that is based upon failing your skill checks. As for the Seeker's Hall and mail system write up, yeah, really busy. And then my birthday happened, and I was playing video games because I got new video games. So those are still in progress. Yeah, I got a Baldur's Gate 3 and Stray Gods, other stuff. So it's been distracting. Mm-hmm. I did some stuff last night, so mm-hmm. open up the suggestion box real quick. Doing that set stuff prep. While they're doing that, anything anyone would like to bring up? Things to note?
I certainly don't have anything.
All right.
I believe Earlobe is a monster and he keeps getting VP.
I'm pretty sure we have a couple of regions that have VP that they can be spent on stuff, but
Yep, every region except Bruges has 5 VP that can be spent.
mm-hmm.
I don't think Doliter has 5 VP yet. We're not that far.
Nah. So I'm looking at right now. Arlogus has 7, Bruges has 4, Doliter has 3, and Eldir has 7.
Sorry, I forgot that Dolder was a place. My bad.
No, understandable.
I like the fact that Bruges is almost up to 5 again, and Dolder is still working on that first one. First 5.
Well, that's because people don't actually do anything.
Panel is more heavily monitored against spoilers.
My only problem with that is that requires people to like be up to date on all the lore all the time and actively police it in a channel, which is a kind of a big ask.
Mm-hmm. I'm also not sure what spoilers they're referring to. Are they referring to like what's been going on in Region X, or is it like particular mission spoilers?
I do know some people are like, oh, I wanted to make my character go in blind to the world because I'm new to the world. So they haven't read like necessarily all the nation lore and stuff, which is fine. It's just, it's also not super spoiling. I don't know.
Living World Gen Chat's also general chat, so it's gonna be full of spoilers.
Yeah.
Like if you want non-spoilers, and then I would just go to normal general chat.
Yeah, we do have normal general chat.
While I'm not against the idea of having a regulated chat, it's just, I think it's a big ask.
Yeah.
I do think it's a big ask with our current team size at the moment, especially with the requirements of having a regular chat with this particular thing. That means our moderators would need to have lore keeper knowledge.
I mean, kind of like in Sithem's case, like they don't stream, so no one really knows it's happening if something happens to the game, and they're gonna bring it up in chat. Like, sorry, not sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Shit happens. Like, people want to talk about it.
Most of my conversation stuff regarding my game actually happened through RP, which is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can just add a blanket rule of if you're talking about game stuff, just put in spoiler text, but not like a hard rule. Just more as a courtesy. But if it's talking about like world lore, I mean, if it's on World Anvil, that is considered general knowledge for that region. So if you have that region's lore, you kind of already know it.
I guess there's also the potential that this could be referring to spoilers from other media as well, in which case I think a general rule of just don't be an asshole is also
Yeah.
I mean,
that too.
people also just put their stuff in spoilers now for it. So if someone clicks on it and goes, "Oh my God, surprise Pikachu face," that's kind of on them.
Yeah, I mean, if it's in a spoilers text, then yeah, if you click on spoiler text and you know what you're getting into, well, not full on, but you know there's some form of spoiler there. Or maybe it's people just memeing.
Especially when people are putting Baldur's Gate 3 spoiler and then the text in black, and you still click it. That's on you, dog, not us.
Mm-hmm.
Centralized channel for documents. That makes sense to me.
How many documents do we have?
Yes.
Three, a channel with forms and documents that are necessary for the living world instead of it being in 10 different channels buried beneath text. Pretty sure we already have a channel for this. Yeah. The, living world utilities, I'm pretty sure. Game and
I think
RP
we just want
rules.
it all in one channel.
Yeah. What I'm saying is we already have a channel for this. If there's more rules that are just like scattered about, yeah, I mean, we can start slapping them in there just to make sure, but we do have a channel for this where they should be. Mm-hmm. Alright. What is next? The next one is pretty beefy. While that tippy tappy that out, what was I working on? Your notepad. Yes, I've begun the character sheet transition to the updated sheets. In doing so, I've realized that it might be quicker to just send people new sheets and that have their stuff copied over to it. Because there's a lot of changes, and some of them are very small that I might have forgotten.
Yeah, it'll be better if you just hand them out and then have them fill them out.
Yeah. Because I've been going through some of them and, like, actively adding the new cells, actively adjusting where things are located, all this other stuff, and like I forgot I did a small fix in this one area with like sanity rules, and I did this other fix in the equipment section. That there's a lot of things on the equipment section actually on page 2. So, you know, and for people who are using like really old sheets, that one I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not editing this. There's so many things that are between version like 0.1 to the version that we had that everyone's currently using to the version that I currently have. It's most up to date. Then I just like, yeah, no, we're just giving you a new sheet.
You ain't gotta call me out like that, Nerp.
Look, man, I'm pretty sure it's only the dungeon masters who have the really old sheets.
Yeah, I have the really old sheet because I played in training games.
Yeah.
The new sheets are nice.
Mhm.
Look, I like the old sheet. It's simple. It's easy. It doesn't have colors.
Mm.
I'm Whispering Nights character uses a new sheet, and it wasn't even asked for me to update.
What I'm hearing is the word boomer. That's what comes to mind.
Hmm.
Back in my day, you erased your shit with a goddamn pencil and an eraser.
That never happened.
Wise.
Pencils exist?
Yeah.
Good God, must be a very spicy suggestion. Let's see here. Another thing I've been doing, I did go through some more of the newer suggestions. Some of them you'll probably notice are approved. Like the spells that are like repair construct and repair undead for the mass versions of those spells. Yeah, that was already intended. I just haven't gotten to them yet. Then there's the other one, which is for the crafting system. I'm going to be simplifying things where it's not two numbers, it's just one number, and then a minimum value. Some other crafting stuff I'll be updating as well to make things simplified. But those ones are still in a trial format, so they're still in the new document. They're not set in stone yet, so no reason to really bring them up. But I'm trying to make it super simple while still maintaining the general economy that is produced via the crafting system. And as for the structures, making good progress. If I'm not slammed with work and birthday distraction, I can probably see it done this week. You know, should be good, but there may be distractions.
BG3 distractions is what I'm expecting.
Potentially. I'm gonna try to get some work throughout, but especially since I'm gonna be working Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll probably be doing work then. But yeah.
I enjoy how you have a job, but most of your job is doing living world stuff at said actual job.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. All right, let's see here. Concerns about stat groups leading to bias rewards and possibly having situations like V crafting. Cut down the full text. I do not know what you mean by V crafting.
Probably Verum crafting, I'm assuming. But that's assuming.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Hmm.
But that you can't really have Verum crafting in this system because, crafting is out in the open.
Yeah. And any item that is made like that is going to be added to our document of enchantments. So, not like be something that only they can have. If it is, well, there comes some questions to be had.
Imagine not just making a generic magic item with the available crafting rules.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of options already for magic items.
The one magic item I gave it was literally like a +1 to charisma saves cloak that you could faint with.
I don't understand this. Like, is someone giving out like Verum items?
I think that's just a concern they have
Oh,
for what it could lead to.
Which
I
I
mean,
mean,
in general, static groups aren't really an issue because we're not competing against one another like in Verum. Verum was literally a competition of who was the strongest.
Like almost every item handed out has been using the new crafted system, so they're all like on point for everything. Even the Joki's ones are the same way. They're all within gold and value.
But yeah, you can make all the stuff that's made.
Yeah. Ultimately, as you're saying, static groups are something that we're wanting to be fairly core. If we want a more traditional feel for play within Living World, we don't like. Of course, there'll be one shots and whatnot, things that will feel more like Living World's play style, where it's just like pickup games, especially for those who have more difficult schedules. We have, and hopefully we can see those schedules. Having games play through and whatnot. But I do not think the biases of custom items or anything of that nature will be an issue, at least not anytime soon. And if it does become an issue, as Legacy and others have pointed out, retcons and whatnot do exist.
keep an eye on items.
Yeah, I definitely can see party conflict happening on, because as people start joining factions, they will start having allegiances, and those allegiances will put them against other factions. Especially if they're doing the Templar Eldiria, and are trying to fight against, so we have people working with Bruges. Like, I can definitely see a Eldirian Bruges conflict boiling pretty soon. So some form of war shenanigans happening, and that's going to cause people to fight each other. But that is the thing. You say this, and yet there's an Inquisitor.
Yeah, there's an Inquisitor.
I mean, it's not like we didn't cause the Inquisitor that was caused by people using.
Whoa. This is no we. This is on the Eldiria people. I don't want to hear shit from us. We're over here on an island just drinking margaritas, and you're all like, here's some blight and here's some war.
See, I like that I caused some of I'm literally like, hey, what are your feelings about Eldiria? I hate Eldiria. Let's all join for. See, the Eldirian people need to get together and hate Arlogus for spreading blight in Arlogus or in Eldiria.
Hey, this is political's problem, okay?
It's gonna be real awkward when everyone realizes that it's the vampires just spreading blight to Eldaria from our logos.
Nothing wrong with that.
Indeed.
How many statics do we even have?
One.
Because I'm gonna say, I think Sax Group is the only one that's a static group, and even then, they've been talking to everybody else as well.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I asked for a static group chat. is because there's only one, and if we want to go towards that, then we need to start supporting it.
Yeah. Hopefully with the guild's introduction, because that will be more forum style, we can add forums for each stat group, which is more viable than adding channels for each stat group, because that will swiftly hit us to our cap, because we have to add channels for every faction, we have to add channels for every new region, and it's going to become an issue. But with the forum of this guild hall, that should make things easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I need to make a channel for the Skysworn, because the guild's literally about to get some members. Let's see here. Alright. Nice, very nice. It's good to have that updated. Yeah, will do. Excellent. Forum time. Huzzah. It's a subclass for Artificer. Now I looked at it, I'll probably be implementing some of the suggestions. I just haven't got to it yet.
I understand most of the suggestions for mechanics. I'm just saying, like, why wouldn't you want a 15-foot tall mecha?
There might be some reasons why you'd not want it, so it's... And they are right. The
Well, yeah.
subclasses sub features are kind of boring. They're pretty much just like, boost your thing, gets bonus points. And they're also right that I could just make those bonus points, the upgrade points, into a single ability and then give them new stuff.
What TM has hallways, except for probably Sithams because he's sadistic, but...
Or me, where you're literally in a dungeon filled with tiny hallways. I had hallways that were about a foot wide that you guys never reached.
Mechanics just sounds like Sumner from Pathfinder 1E. You just have a thing that you pour your points into, and it does all the things.
It's a little fairly similar to that, yeah. That's kind of where I got the inspiration to edit it up.
Don't get me wrong, I thought... is that working?
Hmm.
Oh, there you go. I like Sumner, so don't get me wrong. I thought it was interesting.
Mm-hmm. As for Oracle, is that new? A new suggestion? Blind. Let's see here.
It is fairly new.
I'm following it, so I must have read it at some point.
I haven't read over Oracle at all, so I don't know anything about the class.
Okay, it's one of the really old ones where it's like, hey, with the new mage stuff, wizard stuff coming out, can we get some boosties? And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna happen. All the classes that are out are probably gonna get updated. Seems new stuff have been posted since then, but I'll just mark it as unread for now.
I believe that's Sean class, isn't it? Oracle?
Oracle, no. Oracle is a Pathfinder class that I've converted. Sean's one was the Alchemist that I took a lot of stuff from
that's
Sean.
right, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. let's see here. The next thing that you listed out was the changes to the wizard, I believe. Yeah, Restoration Wizard. Restoration Wizard, they were basically just wanting me to change the flavor text. Which, I mean, I can do that. I did post what they're actually called in their suggestion. But it's just flavor text. It's just, I mean, for the common people, they're a necromancer. They see wibbly wobbly necromantic magic. They're like, ooh, spicy, kill it with fire. Even though it is restoration magic. It's for those who know what they're doing, who know magic, who are like, proficient with Arcana, they'll see and be like, okay, yeah, I know what you're doing. You're casting healing stuff. But it's just flavor and lore.
Necrodancer is actually a bard subclass I made.
Nice.
There actually is a bard subclass in Pathfinder where you get to raise dead with your songs. It's pretty cool.
The big balance things that we have to discuss are still being looked at. The plan was for me to look at them when I was working last Wednesday, when I was doing the whole questions box and whatnot I was doing. But I never got to it because suddenly things got really busy, so I had to stop doing what I was doing.
One thing that I noticed in reference to the bleed condition is that there's not actually very many things that cause the bleeding condition. There's a lot of things that do bleed damage, though.
Yeah. Big thing with the bleeding condition is it is something that we can apply via custom-made monsters. And something that we can apply for custom-made spells or effects or abilities.
Yeah. The blade thing again. I only proposed those changes because, or just simplicity. Lumping everything into one persistent damage thing, and then GMs can modify it as they want, rather than have we only have bleeding and burning, but like what if there's acid or?
Well, a flame is for every damage type besides bleed.
Oh, I thought it specifically said fire.
No. A flame is just the name of the condition because I needed something that would fit DOT damage essentially.
There's some stuff in the guide that I saw that has it'll do like psychic damage, like a flame, like it'll put like psychic flame conditions on them.
Yeah. So the way you type out a flame is you do a flame parentheses, like 1d6 psychic, as an example, and then in parentheses, and that's how you list it in any monster stat block, so you know what they're causing. Same thing with bleed. You just say bleeding 1d6. You already know it's bleed damage. And the main reason why currently there's a difference between the two conditions is because a flame has its own ways to remove, while bleed is very specific on how it can be removed. A flame you can remove various different ways, generally as listed in the text. It's like stop, drop, and roll if you're on fire and whatnot. A bleed is if it's magical healing, there's medicine checks to stop the bleeding, all these other different options that are very specific for, bleeding. And that's why they're separated. So if we were to combine them, we would have to have the listings for if it's this damage type, this is what happens. If it's this damage type, this is what happens. And so on and so forth. So
that is kind of why I went with the Pathfinder 2e suggestion where they run with like a flat check where it's like, because at current right now, like if you get a sufficiently high medicine check or whatever, you're always just going to recover from bleed. It doesn't matter. If you make it a flat check, you can just there's always a chance people will fail it, which doesn't always feel great, I guess, but you can always reduce the DC or finagle it. But the idea is that because it's a flat check, it can be argued that, you are simply doing an action that is relevant to getting this thing to stop.
That's fair.
I mean, they do have to give up their actions to stop the bleeding, so it is action economy.
Yes, and that's why I also proposed a lower DC than the one they have in Pathfinder, because you just get the check for free at the end of your turn in that system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in this one it's actually pretty easy to remove bleed by just, magical healing.
Yeah. But, that one can be discussed in more detail when I actually read through the probably mountains of text that are in that.
Yeah.
But
it's not a huge deal. It's just a quality of life thing.
Yeah, definitely. Big thing to note though, since do you have a time limit your systems?
No, my game is not running today.
Okay, I was going to say we probably should do the time limit stuff first before we do anything else. But if you don't have an issue, then we can continue doing what we're doing.
There was one thing that I wanted to put in for a suggestion. Let me see if I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was alchemist bombs. I believe currently they have to craft. They have to have a. They have to craft their bombs.
So
and they can get any for free.
So they have their cantrips, which are basically
Mhm.
their bombs, and they can use crafted alchemical weapons. So like alchemist fire, acid flasks, thunderstones, and so on and so forth. They can use those crafted ones, which they do have to get craft and pay for, to enhance their cantrips. So they could throw a thunderstone as an example and enhance it with one of their brews, their cantrips. So that way it's even deadlier than before. And that's their bread and butter, is using the combo wombo. But their cantrips already are pretty strong by themselves. Like, they are really good cantrips.
Okay. Now, can they apply variants to their cantrips, or is that only to the ones they craft?
What do you mean by variants?
So, like, can they apply blinding bomb because it says, or I believe, yeah, brew or use of alchemical weapon.
Yeah, so if they're doing again, Thunderstone plus one of their brews, if they're doing a wombo combo, yeah, they can apply any of their experiments to the bomb.
Okay.
Yeah, with the Alchemist, there has been some wording adjustments. I believe I removed some of those issues. So it's gone through a lot of revisions. I'm mostly waiting for more feedback, more playtests with them to see how the new changes have made through, because I haven't seen any playtests since I've updated it last.
What was the question? Sorry, I was indisposed.
Alchemist having some potential cheese, and me waiting for them to have a playtest before I do any more edits.
Gotcha.
Yeah, alchemist is going to be hard to sell to balance because of it's not really a full caster.
It's true.
It doesn't function like normal alchemist, where it's just like, hey, you're a bomber.
Yeah, let me go read one of the actual spell texts of one of the brews. Let's grab fragmentation blast. That's a pretty clear one, I feel. Alchemist brews are pretty strong. I was reading through the brew to make sure it did indeed have splashables on the brew itself, which it does. But no, there's some things I can see being removed for the brews, like splash damage on brews, unless you enhance it with a alchemical item, in which case then they would obviously apply. But, at that point, you're just throwing money. Do not turn off my computer. It's a bad idea.
Oh,
Dragonborn racial features updated. Dragon wings and breath must both made usable through stamina. Just their innate plays buffed. Necromancy spells have been added, as have some adjustments to other spells, I believe. I believe I adjusted Cure Wounds to be a D12 now. Well, to be fair, that's also been changed to Necromancy, because all healing spells have been changed to Necromancy. Anyways, yeah, Necromancy spells, updates, additions, Dragonborn racial features, updates to that. Any other changes will be in the World Anvil updates page. Like that's where everything I do gets plopped down. So, unless it's like, an update to the equipment guide, in which case you'll probably see that in announcements, and it'll be here's a new version, which is not a new version currently out. So, but most stuff is on World Anvil at this point in time, so most things that are updated will be posted in there. Yeah, it is a ripperoni. To be fair, I don't really know where you're from, so I couldn't be like, yeah, they can have it.
yeah. I mean, it was just a wonder. I didn't really pick a place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can have guns. Just do you have the money for guns?
They're quite expensive.
Do you
Did
have
you
the
bring it?
money for that smooth barrel and that smooth ball?
Bring enough to share with the rest of the class?
To be fair, I
mean,
think there's
IRL, yes.
one origin specifically that does mean you can start with a gun.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it gives you the weapon that you gain proficiency in as part of the origin for free.
Yeah, it's Bandit. I
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah. So that's like the one way where you can start with a firearm at level 1, because level 1 you don't have the money to afford one. But you need to be from like Aether Storm or from another region that would have access to firearms, whether they're archaic or industrial.
I just think if you start with one, you're going to run into the problem of no one's really going to give you ammo. So it's like,
I thought you were tribal.
I'm tribal. Tribal's a birth profession merchant, and then Wanderer Bandit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're just a tribal individual who happened upon a gun and was like, ooh, what's this do? And then accidentally hits the trigger.
Bang. See, once you get the gun, all you have to do is spend all your money on ammo.
Yeah.
And just hope you never run out.
don't miss.
Or become an alchemist and make some.
I'm a merchant. I pay people for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, Downtime Animation is making good progress. Huge updates. Very much appreciated, Wara.
No problem. I'll keep people posted in the tech team and economy team channels as things are updated and get tested.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you need any information or anything from me, where I can shoot it to you.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
All right, sounds good. We do have regions and whatnot as well, because we do have element points to spend, but I will drop the general meeting here now, recording-wise, just so I don't have to go through and edit the video, because that's a bitch. By bitch, I mean it's not really a bitch, it's just sometimes my program crashes on me because it hates me. Yeah. We're gonna drop this here.